All right, on this episode of Bowks Talking Bouts, excited to be talking to an individual set to compete as part of BTC 19 Fight Night Kingston, and that transpires on March the 18th. We have the BTC Bantamweight Championship on the line as Walel Watson and Serhiy Sidey get out there to test skills, and good having Serhiy on the show today. How are you doing, man?
Yeah, buddy, I'm good. Just in between sessions right now. Just getting some food in me, recovering.
And I'm wondering how you're feeling getting ready to kind of return to the BTC fold. Like, obviously you've been consistent competing in general, but just it being the first time in around 3 years, you're returning to BTC and everything. Like, how does it feel kind of reintegrating yourself into that picture with BTC Fight Promotions?
It's exciting, man. You know, it's my is where I made my pro debut. It's my home promotion. COVID stirred some things up, and I had to go out there in BC and take the opportunities where they presented themselves. But I feel like I gained a lot of experience out there, and now I get to come back and show the local fans, my people, the people that want to watch me fight, all the improvements I've made and put on a great show.
Yeah, and it seems like an interesting one too, like in the sense of, and I feel like BTC has, done a lot of this in their tenure, like as far as like bringing like a pro MMA show for the first time to a given city, and I mean that being the case here with Kingston. Like, what are your thoughts on that? Just it having that level of historical significance, and as far as it being that first big like pro MMA show the city has seen.
Yeah, man, it's awesome. BTC's done a lot, man. It's there's so much talent. There's so much talent in this area. It's insane. Just from like Niagara Top Team to BTC to Aegis MMA, and there's all these other local gyms. It's great that we have an opportunity to show out and show this local talent. I know there's a bunch of guys in Kingston, Belleville area that are going to be on this show as well. So yeah, it's awesome that BTC is able to do that for us.
Yeah, I mean, very well said. And you talk about the great, cross-training culture around this area. Like, it seems like for you, you've been getting in a lot of that, like, BTC work and also Aegis MMA. Like, I've been seeing some pictures lately with guys like, Josh Hill, the Laramie brothers, Mike Malott. Like, I mean, I guess it's not really even fair to say, because you're probably working with just some of the best in the province, and it's such a revolving door, people going to different gyms and getting in that great work. But is there like maybe a core nucleus of people you're working with across these like couple spaces you're training at?
Yeah, I mean, like the three places I'm at right now the most, I'd say, is BTC, Aegis, and then Niagara Top Team as well. And then, they have such a great team there. We go wrestle. I just came back from there, just from their hardcore wrestling practice on Mondays. They're just killers. But like, it's like if you like look up like topology and like some of the top guys, it's like, we're training with those guys. I got Vinny Diaz, I got Josh Hill, I train with TJ, I train with Cody and all these guys. They're all up there. Liam Gallagher, and like these are like the top guys, and we're just sharpening each other.
Yeah, it seems like the level is just so high and everything, and just really shows the progression of the sport too, because it seems like even fighters that are relatively earlier on in their journey, at least in terms of like, I guess, depth of professional bouts, it's like the skill level kind of belies like where they're at least like relative to like a previous generation. Like, I feel like a person who has like 8 fights now is very different than a person who had 8 fights even like a few years ago in terms of proficiency. So that must be a cool thing to be a part of. Like, I mean, you're progressing in that same fashion as well, but just, also seeing that around you and being part of that, current wave of the sport.
Yeah, 100%, man. We have so many, such high-level guys, such high-level coaches, so many vets, like you said, like Mike Malott, the Josh Hills, all these guys that come out and gain our knowledge, like Aaron Jeffrey, Anthony Romero, and we're like all these new pros that we're in the room with them, we're training with them, obviously we're losing rounds to them, but we're getting so much better. So now you got these guys that are like 1-0, 2-0, 3-0, absolute killers, because they're training with the best, and it's so awesome that I get to be part of that.
And the cool thing from what I can tell too, like there's a lot of individual successes across all these fighters through the gyms, but it seems to create a certain sense of almost collective momentum. Like, it feels like everyone's kind of like lifting each other up and everything like that. Like, I mean, like what Jasmine's doing, like just having recently gotten a win in the UFC over the weekend. I mean, Aaron Jeffrey being a ranked Bellator guy. I mean, I could go on and on. Like, it just really illustrates the level there. Like, how much does, like, I guess the individual accomplishments of everyone in the gym kind of create that almost, I guess, collective kind of uplifting sentiment? Like, do you sort of feel that?
Yeah, man, 100%. You know, like, just watching Jazz and Malal win over the weekend, Romero the week before win for PFL, like, it's so inspiring, man. And, like, you know, when you see that, you're like, okay, I'm in the right rooms. I'm training with the right people. Like, we're going out there, different places, different organizations, different promotions, and we're winning in great fashion. And it's inspirational. I love seeing these, like watching Jazz and Mike win over the weekend, man. It puts such a smile on my face because, like, you know, that energy just makes me so excited for my opportunity. And I just hope we all keep going like that.
Yeah, for sure. And I imagine this would very much be an opportunity you're excited for, just like considering the resume of this individual, like in the intro mentioning he fought for the UFC, but also like Brave CF, Titan FC, definitely an experienced guy and across multiple combat sports too, also doing a bit of like bare knuckle boxing recently. Like, what are your main thoughts on your upcoming opponent here? Like, what do you think his bigger, I guess, stylistic attributes are? He has a deep resume, like I was saying there, but like from what you've seen of Walel Watson, like what does he really bring to the table here?
Yeah, well, he's he's a vet of the game. He's been around. He's had so much experience. I think that's going to be his best tool. His experience. He's done it. He's done it all. He's been around. I'm honestly so grateful I get a challenge like this because, you know, like my last few fights in BFL, of course they were good opponents, but like I didn't get to see how far I can really go. I haven't like like pushed myself to the limits, and a guy like this, a guy with this many fights, a guy with this much experience, I'm hoping he's going to bring this out of me because you know, like I want to see how far I can push it. I want to see where my limits are. I want to see how high I can perform, and I need high level opponents to be able to do this. So for BTC to be able to fly out a guy like this for me with so much experience, you know, like this is I'm just excited to see what I'm going to do, man. Like, you know, I train myself so my subconscious starts, I get a flow state in that fight, and I just do what I know I'm supposed to do. And the harder the challenge, the harder the obstacle this opponent's going to bring to me, the more I'm going to be able to rise to my peak performance. And I'm excited to see that.
Yeah, very good opponent in a lot of ways. And like I said, the depth of experience, like even in terms of the total number of bouts, like someone with like around 3 times your pro experience, if not a bit more. So I would think this would be the exact kind of test you would want at this point.
100%, man. You know, I'm not doing this sport to fight low-level guys. I want to get to the UFC, and I want to make a mark in the UFC as well. So this is the perfect step up for me, and I'm so excited to do this.
Yeah, I mean, this is a guy that fought TJ Dillashaw a bit over a decade ago, so it'd be a good name to have on the resume.
You know what I mean? Like, that kind of stuff makes me so hyped up. Because it's like, yeah, like, you look at his resume, right? He's been in there, man. Like, that pumps me up, man. That pumps me up.
I was going to say, was this someone you were watching in, like, your, like, younger fandom kind of stages? Like, I would think there maybe be some level of, you know, training even back then, perhaps. But, like, was there a level of, like, having seen this past guy's fight when you were a younger lad or anything like that, or more just like the tape study kind of coming in thereafter and kind of getting the style down there? Like, were you peeping the Dillashaw fight years back and everything, or what was going on with that?
Yeah, like I was definitely watching TJ. I actually didn't watch that particular fight. I've definitely probably like scrolled through a TJ Dillashaw highlight, you know, YouTube video with some of those sequences. But I did watch the Mitch fight when he fought Mitch getting on in the UFC because they know Mitch was coming to Parabellum at the time and training with us. So I did see that, and then, you know, kind of forgot about it. But then, like, you know, like all my boys, they're like, "Yo, we know this guy." And I was like, "Really?" I was like, "Yeah, like we've seen him in the UFC." So it's definitely cool. And then obviously I went back and watched a bunch of his stuff.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, a great opponent, no doubt. I guess I'm kind of curious though, because you are in a unique position, like you were talking earlier about kind of going to BC when you had to kind of get the fights, in the sense of Ontario not being active. But if you get your ideal outcome in this next one, I mean, you're going to be bantamweight champion with both BFL and also BTC. So in that kind of sense, like, what would a, you know, next step look like? Like, not overlooking this particular fight, but entertaining you get your, I guess, most ideal outcome. Like, which belt would you be defending next after that?
Honestly, man, I'm not 100% sure. I would love to get on the Contender Series. I'll be 8-1. I'll have 2 belts. I just beat a UFC vet coming off that. So, maybe get on the Contender Series. Maybe if the UFC comes to Toronto, I get on that card as well. So I'm hoping for that. But if those opportunities don't present themselves, then yeah, whatever the next step up in competition is going to be, I'm going to take that opportunity.
Well, yeah, I mean, you'd be positioned well in that regard, too. Like you said, 2 belts. And, I mean, Contender Series I could very much see, if not, like you said, maybe like they come through and do a big show and you can get on that way. I think Dana White, even in the scrum over the weekend, intimated he was looking to get UFC in Canada this year. So I think you'd be excited about that.
Yeah, man, exactly. It's just exactly. Just Malad telling him to come to Canada. Dana White started talking about it. Yeah, exactly, man. I think everything's gonna work out exactly how it's gonna happen.
Yeah, for sure. Some great stuff on the horizon, no doubt. But I'm kind of curious because I mean, you've been someone who, like, in past interviews, you've talked about some past kind of gigs you've had and stuff like that, like landscaping and some like security work and stuff like that. But it seems like you're doing a lot of coaching now as well, and pursuing obviously your career as a fighter. Like, are you, I guess, like full time with just doing like martial arts related work as far as like training people, fighting, etc., or are there still some like side gigs you have right now, for lack of a better way to say it?
No, man, 100% immersed in the martial arts, man. I've made my life in a way where outside responsibilities, or like things, I made them very, very small so I can fully immerse myself in the training. I train, I teach, I train, and I do that 7 days a week, man. And I just, I teach my students things that I'm working on, and I can watch it off their lens. So I'm always immersed in the sport. And that's my day in, day out, man, from Monday to Monday. I just train, recover, teach, train, recover, teach, and it's the lifestyle I love. It never feels like work. It only feels like fun, and I'm grateful for every day I get to do it.
Yeah, it seems like a great thing even on just a general lifestyle level. Like, I saw a video you posted somewhat recently, like kind of going through your routine and stuff like that, just like the meditation and like the gratitude journal and stuff like that. So it seems like something that like positively shapes the overall lifestyle, like not even just in the localized martial arts lane.
100%, man. Exactly. Like, meditation, journaling, man. Like, I'm doing so much hot and cold now, so sauna work and plunges, and like I've really fallen in love with that. Reading mindset books, trying to level up my mindset. Learning the inner game of fighting, not just the outer game, but the inner game. Healthy eating. Trying to perfect my sleep so I have the best REM sleep, the best deep sleep every single night. Like, every food I eat is low inflammation, so my body's always feeling great. Like, I'm just trying to dial in everything and be a world champ, a UFC world champ level like athlete before I even get there. Like, I'm doing everything right now.
Yeah, it seems like you've developed a lot of great habits and curated a great routine that you've been sticking to. But kind of to that point, like one of our past chats, it seemed like your methodology for like preparing for different opponents is like that combination of working with guys who have like similar body types and also similar, I guess, stylistic attributes. So to that point, like, who has been mirroring Walel Watson in this camp in terms of like stylistic attributes and the body type?
Yeah, man. So we got a bunch of guys at our gym, man. Like, we got a couple amateurs with great Muay Thai backgrounds that are tall, that are lanky. I think Walal's going to be a little bit taller than me, so I'm just trying to find styles like that, longer guys. Scott Hudson, awesome training partner for this fight. So like, I'm using him as well, getting rounds and working with him with sparring. And yeah, just we got the guys. I'll go to Top Team. There's a room full of guys, and I'm finding guys that look like Walel. At least body-wise, right? Like, finding guys that are good at attacking guillotines, because I know he likes to look for the neck. So like, I'm very, very specific and like trying to get the right looks and applying that into my training right now. So yeah, but the thing is, bro, we have so many guys here that can do this for me that it's perfect. It really is.
I was gonna say Hudson's a larger lad there. Have you found yourself working with like bigger people than maybe you normally would in this camp, just in as far as replicating the, I guess, like length with the reach and just the height, like the trajectory of your strikes, etc.?
Yeah, 100%, man. Me and Hudson, we'll have great rounds, man. We have controlled rounds, but we get really, really good work in. But yeah, I'm just looking for guys just slightly a little taller than me. I've never really fought, other than like fighting Kevin Popovic back at 145. I've never fought somebody taller than me. So, I'm always the taller guy. So Walal's going to come out a little taller. But honestly, man, I love it. I love working on the inside. I love the game of fighting a taller opponent. I'm finding so many new shots and so many new opportunities to land big shots that sometimes I don't get with the smaller, more compact guys. So it's like, new range of tools, new weapons, getting to develop it all, and it's super exciting.
Yeah, well, that Kevin Popovic fight, you talk about that being one of the first times you fought someone who's got like a discernible size advantage over you. Like that seemed to work out well. You got the first round finish there. Like obviously like every fight's a different experience, but if you're going off of prior experience facing a longer guy, it's like that's not a bad prior experience to say the least.
100%, man. Exactly.
Yeah, for sure. And I guess one of the last questions that I had, because like in past I've known you to have like a bit of a varied kind of music taste. So I guess to that point, like what's the entrance song for this one? Like what are you thinking the theme music is for this one?
I'm not 100% yet, bro, but because I'm one of those guys, dude, I wish they asked me the day of the fight.
Yeah.
Like, I wish they asked me, like, the morning of, man, like, I wish that's when I got to pick the song, but I don't, but I haven't gave my song's choice yet. But, man, I love hip-hop. Might do a little bit of like a throwback 50 Cent song, but then maybe something new school like Lil Baby or something like that, man. Like Kodak Black, that's what I walked out to last time. Super Gremlin. Whatever makes me feel like I'm about to go out there and kill somebody, but calmly. I want to be. I call it relaxed concentration. I'm not concentrated and tight. I'm relaxed. I'm loose, but I'm completely focused on my goals. And when I find that state, music helps me find that state. But when I can find that state, man, I feel like I'm unstoppable. I hit a flow state, and I'll rewatch fights and be like, holy shit, I can't believe I even did that. Just because I go to a different world, man, and that's what I'm searching for,
Yeah, I feel like I'd be inclined to be the same way. Like I'd almost want to like pick the song like an hour before I'd walk out, kind of thing. So I get what you mean.
100%, man, 100%. Because like mood changes, man, and feelings change. And like, yeah, bro, if they asked me an hour before, that would be ideal. But unfortunately, that's not how it is.
Well, it sounds like you've got a couple fun contenders, though. So when is the request supposed to officially be in by? Like, how does that work?
You know what? They asked me already, like, yesterday, and I just haven't responded yet. But I will soon, man. I'm going to try to delay it as long as I can.
Yeah, by the time this interview comes out, it'll be all good. I don't want to get in any trouble, so I think that'll work out. But
yeah, bro, 100%. I'll have to send it by then, yeah.
But yeah, it's been good getting to chop it up with you a bit, man. I know you're looking forward to like another session today, though, and the busy schedule, and I want to be mindful of that. So yeah, fun talk. But yeah, in that sense, like just wrapping up, is there anything you might want to kind of add as like a final parting thought, man?
Yeah, just I want you guys just to know all my fans and stuff. Like I've been out for a little bit, just under a year now, and there's so many things I've worked on. I've become a better fighter, not just physically, man, but like most importantly, mentally. I've developed the inner game of this sport much more, and I'm just excited. I'm excited for this performance, and I'm excited to showcase my skills. I'm a performer. I love to perform, and this is going to be the biggest opportunity for me to perform, and I'm just grateful for the challenge.
Yeah, and that's fair. I mean, I think you would have gotten a lot out of that last fight just with it being your sophomore BFL title defense and your first time going the full 5 rounds and managing your energy all throughout. And yeah, like you said, being out of the picture for like just shy of a full year, I would think that there's a lot of momentum going into this and a lot of great lessons learned. So yeah, very excited for this next one here, man. And I do appreciate the time, and I'm looking forward to, checking out the fight. But until then, you have a good rest of your day, Serhiy.
Thank you, Dylan. Have a great day, buddy.